Welcome to the channel Physics by IITians. In this video, we will learn some more problems on statistical mechanics, the problems on probability, random walk problems that are already come in NET examinations, and the concepts have already been discussed by me and also by Lakshman sir. So please go through the videos of probabilities and the previous videos of statistical mechanics to understand each and every words of the problems and be efficient how to solve this kind of problems at the time of examination. If you get some unknown problems, you can do it because you know the concepts behind the problems. Okay, so we emphasize on the power of the understanding concept so that for the new problems which you can face in the examination hall, you can handle it very efficiently and you can do that problem and solve that problem efficiently. And if you want to face some new problems which are not come in the NET gate examinations but the similar problems can come in future for you, we have organized this test series and you get very numerous numerical problems with the minimum cost, and this is totally online test. The environment will be just like the real NET gate examinations. It is totally time based, computer based scheme. Okay, so surely you can join any of the test series with the minimum cost. So friends, let's start the video. The first question we shall discuss, it has already come in CSIR-NET examination December 2014. The question is, a random walker takes a step of unit length in the positive direction with probability 2 by 3 and a step of unit length in the negative x direction with probability 1 by 3. The mean displacement of the walker after n steps is n by 3, n by 8, 2n by 3 or 0. So first understand this problem carefully. So here suppose the one step you are taking, and if this can be along the positive x direction, that is plus 1, because of the step size is of unit length, so we denote it as plus 1 I cap, or it can be the negative x direction, that is minus I cap or minus 1 I cap. So the probability of the positive x direction, this for the direction along the positive x direction, it is 2 by 3, and probability for the negative x direction, the stepping, that is 1 by 3. So what is the mean displacement? So it is already been covered in our previous videos that the average or mean displacement value, if we denote it by x average, it will be sum of xi into pi, where xi will denote that particular variable and pi denote that probability corresponding to that particular x. So along this x can be one for the positive step and another for the backward step or negative x direction step. So for the positive one step, the probability is 2 by 3 into x is plus 1 I cap, and for the negative step it is probability of 1 by 3 with x is minus 1 into I cap. So it becomes 2 by 3 plus minus of 1 by 3 or 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3, that is 1 by 3 into I cap. So after n steps, for the one step it is x average is 1 by 3. So after n steps, the mean displacement of x, that is n into 1 by 3. So the answer is 1 by 3. Hopefully you understand the correct option is n by 3. Okay. So what you have to understand, this is the formula which you have to remember. This is the formula for the average or mean value of any variable. It is here for the step or for the question is for the unit step, taking step, but it can be anything other. Okay, not the only for the unit step length. This is the average value. It can be from for the unit step or for anything else, but you have to remember this variable is average value is the probability into that value. Okay, so let's go to the next question. So a box of volume V containing n molecules of an ideal gas is divided by a wall with a hole into two compartments. If the volume of the smaller compartment is V by 3, the variance of the number of particles in it is n by 3, 2n by 3, root n by 3. So you have to understand what is variance of the particles. The variance, the average values, all have been discussed in the probability videos which you will get in the mathematical physics lecture. So I request you to go to the playlist and click on the mathematical physics lecture button, and you will get all the probabilities video up to binomial distribution, and surely you will come the we will come to the Poisson distribution as well in the just within 2 or 3 days. Okay, so let's understand the question first. That you have this wall, okay, and there is a certain a small hole, and the here the volume at this at some partition it is 1/3, on the other it is 2/3 v. So the probability of the particles, okay, it is within that volume, that is smaller volume, that is p smaller is equal to v by 3, that is the volume of that particle divided by total volume, that is v. You can treat it as a total probability of occurring a event, that is number of favorable events divided by total number of events. That's why it's the same, just treat like this. So we get 1 by 3. Now the probability of the larger compartment of the box, it is that p larger, it should be equals to, that is 2b by 3, that is the volume of that box divided by the total volume of the box, that is v, that is 2 by 3. So the particles staying, the probability of the particle finding at the smaller box is 1/3 and at the larger box is 2/3. So the number of particles is n. So the variance is, so the variance of the number of particles is sigma square, and sigma square equals to n into p1 into p2. So this is the formula of the Bernoulli distribution, that is sigma square equals to, if p is the number of that event that is going to occur, it is favorable events, and 1 minus p is the events that are not favorable to you, then sigma square is p into 1 minus p. So the variance of the number of particles, that is sigma square equals to n into p1 into p2, where p2 is 1 minus p1. Okay, so p1 for that smaller box and p2 for the larger box probability. So n into 1 by 3 into 2 by 3, that is 2n divided by 9. So the question is, the variance of the number of particles in the smaller compartment is 2n divided by 9. So what you have to do, you have to first find out the probabilities of that particle within the smaller box and the probability of that particle within the larger box. Then what you have to do, you have to find out the variance by applying the formula, that is sigma square equals to n into p1, that is probability of that particle in that smaller box, into probability of that particle in not being in the smaller box, that is being in the larger box, that is 1 minus p1 or p2. Okay, now the next question, it is also very important question, and it is very beautiful also. So understand this question carefully. Consider a random walk on an infinite two-dimensional triangular lattice, a part of which is shown in the figure. If the probabilities of moving to any of the nearest neighbor sites are equal, what is the probability that the walker turns to the starting point at the end of exactly 3 steps? So the worker returns to the starting point at the end of the exactly 3 steps. Means if I want to go, I will take 3 steps and I will come back to my initial position. Or I go from here, I take 3 steps and I come back to my position. Or I take 3 steps and I can come back to the initial position. Or I take 3 steps and I come back to the initial position. Now they ask me, what is the probability that I will return to the same starting point at the end after the 3 steps? Okay, so hopefully you understand. So look here, first you thoroughly look the structure of the two-dimensional triangular lattice. Suppose you are taking this one, this is the your initial position or starting position O prime. Now from here you can go here and you come back to here, this position. Also you can start from here, you can go, and in this way you can come back. Similarly you can come back by this, you can take this path also, you can take this path, or you can take this path. So this paths, we let's give it the name. Okay, so we are taking the origin position as oth position, and then we name the several paths like O, A, B, or O, B, C, O. So this path will be O, A, B, O. This path will be O, B, C, O. This path will be O, C, D, O. Or this can be O, B, A, O. Or this can be O, C, B, O. Okay, friends, understand it very carefully. So the steps that we can take to come back our initial position, we have to find out. So let us take the position of our initial starting point is O. Now the first step, we can move in either of the six direction, because we can make six choices. We can go to this one, or we can go through this path, or we can go through this path, or this path. So total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have six choices. Now the same is true for all the others, because we can, if we want to take our starting point from here, we also can make six choices. If we can start from here, we also can make six choices, because this is a lattice, all have the similar spatial structure. Okay, so due to the similarity of the lattice, so we can have the similar problems if our initial position is anywhere within the lattice. Now the total number of different paths the worker can choose in total 3 steps. So the for the first step, he or she or anyone can make 6 choices. For the second step, he or she can make 6 choices. For the third step, he or she can make 6 choices. So 6 into 6 into 6, that is 216 paths are available for him or her. There is no boundation of coming back to the initial position. Now we have to find out what are the favorable paths in which the worker will return to its starting point, and it can have only certain paths, because it cannot be the 216 points paths. Okay, so the favorable paths can be OABO or OBAO, OBCO or OCBO, OCDO or ODCO, ODEO or OEDO, OEFO, OFEO, OFAO, OAFO. So understand it. I want to show you with these two different diagrams. I think the screen will be so much less, okay, smaller actually. So you here you understand it. The OABO path is this one, OBAO path is this one, or it can be ODEO path, or it can be OEDO path. So here these are the several choices you can make. So the total number of paths that are favorable to the coming to back to its initial position is the 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So total 12 paths are available. So hence probability, yes, the number of favorable paths divided by total paths, that is 12 divided by 216, that is 1 divided by 18. Now come to the next question. It is also very important question. A particle hops on a one-dimensional lattice with lattice spacing A. The probability of the particle to hop to the neighboring side to its right is P, and while the corresponding probability to hop to the left is Q. So along the right it is P, along the left it is Q. You have been asked the root mean square deviation, that is delta x, which is defined as root over of x square average minus x average square in displacement after n steps. So this is a I mean simple formula which you can always remember if you want to this kind of problems, solve problems. the standard deviation, it is a binomial distribution question, because you are either going to the left or you can either go to the right, or the toss, you are making a toss, that is you can either get a head or you can either get a tail. Or suppose we are thinking about the corona cases testing, the test, after the test the man or the woman can be corona positive or it can be corona negative, or he or she can be corona negative. So where the two trials, these trials are only have two results, either this or that. These are all the binomial distribution. So this is a binomial distribution question, and the standard deviation of binomial distribution formula is root over of root over n into p into q, where p is the number of, suppose we are taking the head case, so for the uh, tossing case. So if we define that the number of heads or probability of happening head getting heads is p, then the number of probability of getting tail is 1 minus p, or it is q. Okay, so the here the number of starting going to the right is p, probability of going to the right is p, and the probability of going to the left is 1 minus p or q, because the total number of event probability is always 1. And here the total step size, that is the one along the left and another along the right, it also the a plus a, that is the 2a, which you have to include the left and right movement. So the mean displacement is 2a into root over n into p into q. This is a formula that you can remember for this kind of question, and you can easily choose the option, that is 2a root over npq is the option here. But for the proof you have to do some numeric a math also, some probabilistic theory you have to understand it. So let's understand the proof also, so that you can do it and understand it thoroughly. Suppose here we are taking n as the total number of steps, and we have already told that p is the probability of taking the step to the right, and let us take q is the probability of taking the step to the left, and nr is the number of steps to the right, nl is the number of steps to the left. So total p, that is p plus q, is 1, and total number of steps, that is n, is equals to the number of steps towards the right plus number of steps towards the left, that is nl plus nr. Now the displacement of the particle can be written as x equals to mod of nr minus nl into a. Why this is mod value? Because suppose he has taken right steps lesser than the left step, then this displacement will be the negative quantity, but we don't want to do the negative one. We want the step size, the displacement should be positive. That's why we are taking the mod value, so that we get the positive number. So nl minus nr into a will be the displacement. Now nr minus nl you can write as n minus nr into a, or you can write it as 2 nr minus n into a. X average, you can take the average of nr, so 2 nr average minus n into a, which you get nr average is for the binomial distribution, nr average is n into p. So 2 np minus n into a, that is 2p minus 1 into na, or x square you can write as, so this is the x average value. Now for the x square, this is our x value. Now we have to take the, first we have to take x average, then we will take the x square average. So for that we have to find out the x square value. So we only do the square of this quantity, 2 nr minus n into a whole square. So we get it as 4 nr square plus n square minus 4 n dot nr into n square, a square. So x square average is 4 nr square average plus n square minus 4 nr into n square. So nr square can be written as the sigma nr square plus nr square average, that is sigma nr square is the square nr square average minus n average square. These are all the standard deviation. Okay, so you have to put this value here in place of nr square. You take this here, so this minus will become plus, and you take the quantity, that is sigma nr square plus nr average square minus this quantity, that is n square minus 4 nr into n. So here you, this is nr average actually, so nr average will be n into p into n into a square. So here you just simplify the whole thing, that is npq plus n square p square plus n square minus 4np into n square. So sigma nr square equals to npq, which we have discussed. So delta x square will be root of x square average minus x average square. So you put the values of x square average and x average square, you get 4 npq square. So for this kind of problems to solve, you have to remember some formulas for the standard deviation, some formulas for the mean values. So here you can solve these questions very efficiently if you know the mean values and the standard deviation value, and the root of delta x square, that is delta x equals to 2 into a into root over npq. So that's all for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find it useful for you, please don't forget to like and share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to join our Telegram channel where you get quiz questions in a daily basis. Thank you.